So if you don't have an identity, you're subject to influence from the outside who are selling you identities so that you buy it. So that's why people want, I have an Adidas shirt, I have a Nike shirt, my shit is Gucci, Versace, I like the Raptors, I like the Golden State Warriors, I am this, I'm an electrician, I'm a doctor, I'm a this, my girlfriend is the beautiful girl who's over there with her fake tits. That's because you have no sense of who you are. That's why you need something on the outside that is valued by your quote-unquote peers due to conditioning that then defines you. You have no roots, then hence you're absolutely completely weak. So the healing process is to reclaim those roots. You can imagine that it's quite a journey to reclaim those roots. Now I have to say, it's not for everybody. Most people are very content having no root and being just a little a pawn, very happy to have their logos that they, here I'm like, whatever brand that they put on. And they're proud. And I've been that guy, so I know exactly how it feels like when you get your new pair of Jordans and you're like, yeah, I got the pair of Jordans. Nowadays, it's not as cool, but back in the days, it was much, much more exclusive than nowadays. Right? And you're like, yeah, I have those shoes. They're around $225. And you look at a person next to you, it's like, your shoes are $100. You're not as important as me. You're not as valuable as me. You don't have a sense of style just as much as me. You're not connected to the culture which defines us as human beings and creates a hierarchy of superiority. I'm much higher up than you. I'm more worth than you. I have more value than you. Imagine all of this is artificially created. It's an illusion. And people buy into this because why do you buy into this? Because you have no sense of self. You don't have a sense of the actual value that you've inherited. The strengths, and dare I say the word weakness, or the challenges that you have, which comes with responsibility. Power comes with responsibility. So I received the power. Yeah, what you going to do with that power now? How are you going to serve with it? How are you going to enhance it? How are you going to improve it? And that's not enough. Then you also have, because the irony is that the enhancement of certain powers is on the back of certain weaknesses. Because you have certain weaknesses, other parts. If I have a very weak left leg, I have to have a very strong right leg. So that means at some point I have a very strong right leg. It's a power, especially if I'm on a bike that just has one side. I'm very powerful with right. Yeah, but if now you bring the left bike, I have a weakness. So I have to build that leg. So the power comes with responsibility, and you also have to work on the weakness so that you can improve, so that the next generation improves. Most people, they don't want to improve. So all of this is power, and power connects you to the past and connects you to the future. And once you understand that, then you can ask the question, yeah, but who am I really serving? What am I serving? How does this fit in a grand macrocosmic vision? Which makes the whole game all the more interesting. But let's, for the sake of conversation, stay just horizontal and speak of ancestors. So, as I said before, all the ancient cultures had worship of ancestors. Whether they understood why they were doing it or not, it came from a place of intelligence. And you don't have to pray your ancestors, you are your fucking ancestors. So if you don't have a connection to your ancestors, you need some kind of mental thing to, I'm like, no, they're literally living in you. So if that's not active, if your body is offline and you activate your body and your mind, the knowledge is there. You have access to it. It doesn't necessarily look like in the movie The Black Panther. It could, depending on what kind of person you are, but it's data. This is who we are. This is what we do. You need to move this forward. It's so clear. There's no conversation. And therefore, you instantly know what your destiny is, because your destiny is based on the composite vectors of forces within yourself. These are the powers inside myself. When they come and they merge together, this is basic engineering, basic physics, right? There's a vector like this, vector like this, vector like this. What is the resultant? This way. So this is where we're going, which means this is pointing towards your destiny. And when now it's a force, but that force speaks. Like if you talk to it, it can talk. It says, I want this. And then it tells you why. And the why are the three vectors coming together. So you know exactly who you are and where it's going. And if there's a person who's, let's say, who's able to read forces, will say, well, your forces are out of balance. So if you follow that force, you're going to hit a wall, you're going to die. Well, it's pretty obvious, right? I do this as a medicine man. I see people. I'm like, well, if you don't balance this energy, this is going to lead you there, obviously. It's very easy to see. I don't need no astrology, nothing. It's very obvious to see. You can see it, right? So that's why people are lost. You have no sense of where you're coming from. So where am I going? I don't know. So what does that say? I can do whatever I want. Can you? Absolutely not. That's why you need a metaverse. You need a metaverse so you can do whatever you want and you can be whatever the fuck you want. Because you clearly cannot be LeBron James because he's already there. So what the fuck are you? I can be whatever I want. No, you can't. What you can is be what you are. And you can be an excellent version of who and what you are, but you don't want to do that because you don't know how to do that and you're lazy and you've been sold a dream.